Everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports, and welcome back to the Bayou Breakdown. We're joined, as always, with Jack Tiernan. Jack, how you doing?
Ryan, we're doing all right. Definitely been better, but little twinge of optimism here, I think, which is probably not how most Saints fans are feeling.
Okay, well, I like that because,
Yeah,
yeah, coming off an 18-17 loss, blowing a 17-point lead, and losing Derek Carr for the game. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I don't know if there's official. He has a sprained AC joint and is week to week, so could have been worse, certainly. But yeah, what happened out there, Jack?
I'll be honest. I didn't even hate how Jameis looked. Let me say that first and foremost. Again, you and I are probably some of the biggest Jameis stands on the internet, um, frankly. But that said, I think honestly, uh, didn't look that terrible under him. The offense didn't. I think the defense just gave up. Honestly, it came down to a couple of really costly PIs. That's I think what really ended up sealing the deal there, which I didn't think. I mean, we also had a missed field goal, right? Like rookie kicker. Maybe the spotlight was too bright. I don't know. Um, Everybody misses one once in a while. What I'm looking for here is okay. Jordan Love played decently, 259, I think, one touchdown, one interception. Um, what I'm looking for is a bounce back next week. I think that's fine. Derek Carr goes down. All momentum comes to a complete stop. The defense is kind of shaken because of it, right? That's my read on it. I don't know, but I'm not. I mean, obviously, I'm not thrilled with the outcome, and I think we made that 48 yarder, and we're talking 3-0 right now. So,
We're
um,
talking escape Lambeau Field with your quarterback being injured and
I don't know.
still undefeated. But so you're not worried. That's the long and the short. It's kind of like a freaky game. Derek Carr gets injured. You're not worried long term.
Derek Carr gets injured. We have a rookie running back as our first guy, and Tony Jones, who's on the practice squad, probably very thankful to be out of Denver right now. Um, and we play the Bucks next week. So overall, yeah, I feel fine. I feel totally fine.
Yeah, and you know, little ice or like a little solace maybe in that Sean Payton, who left the Saints for Denver, got absolutely annihilated. Um,
Just brutally assaulted, which is
yeah,
fine. I know
nuked
I
from orbit essentially.
I like Sean Payton. We talk about that. I like Sean Payton, but there is some satisfaction in like kind of like a what is it, like a woman scorned almost, where
Yep.
he's gone, and now we're like, oh, sorry, Sean, like that really hurts to see you. So
Yeah.
sad, but not really. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's the person that your wife left you for cheated on them, and you're like, well,
like,
that's
wow,
sad
so sorry.
objectively, but
Yeah, subjectively, I'm having a party. It's fine.
yeah.
It's
And I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I've spent the last, what is it now, since 2008, so 15 years of my life rooting against Nick Saban. I don't care about college football that much outside of seeing players who are going to develop into NFL players and then rooting against Alabama. That's
that's fair.
that's been my whole college experience.
Which is fair.
Obviously, I love Tua, and he's from Alabama, but you know, yeah, fuck Nick Saban for
A
leaving the
couple,
Dolphins.
couple good ones sneak in there, right? And then the irony is that connection of Tua to Saban just forever enshrined together. But that's
Right.
funny.
Oh man. So yeah, let's look on the optimistic side. One, Jameis will get to probably know that he's going to play and like be able to prepare as a starter for the next game. Revenge game against the Bucks. He's been decent against the Bucks
Yeah.
in his time here. And then Alvin Kamara, he's coming back.
Yes, that's big.
How much is
Having
that needed right now?
It's not like he's not going to save the offense, but he is going to add another dimension to it. And I think, especially with Jameis, like if we have Derek Carr, that's best case. Derek Carr's throwing, Alvin Kamara's in the backfield. Jamal Williams gets healthy again, and he's in the backfield, right? That adds another level to our offense. Right now, we've got essentially practice squad guys as our running back 1 and 2, right? Alvin Kamara is he's an elite athlete. He's got crazy balance. He can avoid tackles, literally just like nobody I've ever seen before. So yeah, that'll be a boost, I think. I don't know, man. I'm not as worried. I feel like I definitely was down yesterday when we blew a freaking 17-point lead,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, like I get it. Like some shit happened. Like people got shaken up a little bit, and we
Mhm.
have practice squad running backs. So like it's fine. Our defense was okay aside from the fourth quarter. That I mean, that's really what it came down to. It was one bad quarter of football, right? The fourth
Mhm.
quarter, if that didn't exist, we won 17-zip pretty much, you know.
Right.
So not the case. Obviously, there are four quarters, but I'm happy with it. You know, Alvin Kamara being back is going to be, I think, a difference maker in this offense and adding that next level of, I would say, like dynamicism. I don't know, being dynamic. There we go.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's certainly that, for sure. Other than that, any positives you can take away? You know, Rashid Shaheed had a
Well,
nice kick return. Was it a kick return touchdown? Right? Not a
punt. I
punt.
think it was punt return.
Punt. Okay.
Yeah,
Return touchdown, nonetheless. That was
yeah,
great.
yeah. We love Shaheed, right? He is that third guy, and he is that outside threat who can go deep. And everybody else, like all the announcers, are like, look out for this guy on the, if he's outside the numbers, like he's going to be a threat. And he's proved to do that. You know, he's proved to evade tackles. He flies. If you watch him on those kick returns, right? We were also big assumption guy Deontay Hardy fans for a while. He's with Buffalo now, so we
Yeah.
found our replacement, right? Rashid Shaheed is the guy. He is the new Deontay Hardy, where he's
Yes.
got that hype around him. And I mean, no offense to Hardy, but he's got a little bit more of a role on the offense than Hardy did. Whereas Hardy
Yeah,
was
a higher wide receiver ceiling than just
for
like a
sure,
return specialist.
absolutely, definitely like a more consistent wideout, I would say. Granted, I'm looking at his stats from last game, and he didn't catch anything, but like at the same time, he had a punt return touchdown, so I'm
Mm,
not sad about that. Like, that's a successful game for him still, you know. And he definitely is that outside threat. If nothing else, he's pulling coverage, right? That's all we
mm.
can ask for. So I'm happy with it.
All right. So I guess do we want to preview Bucks at all, or what do you think
Yeah, let's
going into
let's
that one?
take a look at that, right?
So
Let's I
they've
guess
yet to play. They're playing tonight against Philly in Tampa. So we'll see. You know, Philly's obviously the reigning NFC champion, but uh, I think this is like a good trap game for them. Maybe
yeah.
hot early September or early season, late September weather in Tampa. Tampa's defense is pretty good, so we'll see how that goes. But how are you feeling going in with potentially Jameis Winston starting next week?
We say revenge game, though I think honestly against the Bucks he's fared pretty poorly in the past. Aside from that, I think it was the Week 1 opener last year where he did pretty well. But then he got hurt, right?
Yeah,
Or he
he
like
he beat Tom Brady when he tore his ACL too.
yeah, that's right on the 31st, the Halloween game, right?
Yeah, the
When
Halloween game.
yep,
He's dancing on crutches in the
on the
locker room.
crutches, that iconic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like Jameis is a great locker room presence, so I'm not sad about it at all. And like I'm looking at the stats honestly, and it's not that different from what Derek Carr did, right? Derek Carr was 13 of 18 for 103 and a touchdown, and Jameis was 10 of 16 for 101 and a touchdown, or no touchdown, sorry. But like I'm happy with that, right? If Carr did that in like 3-ish quarters and Jameis did that in 1.5, I think there is still room for growth. I think he's going to be able to slot into this offense and be an effective backup, at least stopgap until Carr gets back, right? So hoping he balls out. I think the Bucks defense obviously is stingy. It's their secondary I'm a little worried about, and with Jameis obviously like the 30-30 season a couple years back now, his last year on the Bucks. So I don't know. I think it'll be an interesting game. But we're going to have that extra level of dimension with Kamara back. And I think our defense is going to be, I don't know if Baker's really played against any solid defenses so far, right? I need to look at that schedule for them, but not like 2-0 is,
It'll be a test tonight. Philly will
I'm going
be
to say, we're
a
going to see
game.
how he shows up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he played the Vikings and the Bears. So no offense to him. Like that's
Two,
not
yeah.
necessarily a test, like it's not a great
I
indicator
think
of
I think we've all come around to realize how bad the Bears actually are,
as
which,
a team, as an
yeah.
organization. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I think people were kind of high on them coming in, and I didn't get that
I didn't either
necessarily because, like,
because
they're
Justin
like,
Fields
"Justin
can run.
Fields is gonna be great," and it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, they started off 2-1 and then didn't win another game. Haven't won another game since then.
Yeah.
Um,
Not good.
they're
Not
they're horrible.
They're
It's a
not.
nightmare. Uh,
They probably regret trading that pick last year or for this year's draft or last year's draft, whatever you want to say.
yeah,
Most
well,
recent draft.
I mean, they might work out. They might get Caleb Williams, unless
That's
Caleb
true.
Williams is like, I would like no part
I
of
don't want to
the
play for the
Chicago
Bears.
Bears. I will be going back
Fair.
to USC and making millions of dollars from NIL
From the
deals.
LE. Exactly,
Yeah,
right, like, what yeah, I wouldn't blame him, to be honest with you, so
me
that's
either.
but,
Nope.
yeah, it's that organization is a dumpster fire right now. If you thought the Commanders were bad, they've, like, kinda scuttled under the radar to the Bears recently, so
Yeah,
yikes.
this is not great. So we'll see. I mean, yeah, put it in perspective. Like Baker's been playing decently, but then it's like, oh, it's the Vikings and the Bears, so maybe
Two
not.
pretty
Yeah,
pathetic defenses, all things considered, you know? Yeah,
yeah,
so, Eagles will put up a little bit more of a fight, and I'm sure the Saints will as well, so
agreed. Oh, I almost forgot. Jimmy Graham touchdown.
Jimmy Graham
He's back.
touchdown, man, love that, love that. Jimmy G is I was Jimmy G, you can't call him that, sorry. Jimmy Graham is back. But no, I'm pumped about
Yeah.
that. He was my first Saints jersey. I've had him forever.
Mhm.
It was the Youth XL. I remember it well. And it's yeah, he's I don't know, man. It's fun to see like old friends come back and like do
Mhm.
successful things, right? It would be the same thing like if I mean not the case like Marquez Colson comes back, right? If we traded him and he was
Right. Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
he's like 42 or 43 at this point, but you know what I mean? Like Reggie Bush, right? Like a Reggie Bush reunion type of thing. Like it's
Mhm.
the same concept. So
Mhm.
I love that it's Jimmy Graham. I don't know if he'll do anything else the rest of the season, but like that's a nice little Cinderella story that unfortunately was kind of marred by, you know, a terrible fourth quarter collapse.
Right. And just shout out to the Google Stats person who has him listed as Jamin Graham.
Jamin
That's not
Graham,
him,
that's
but
I love Jamin Graham. Are you kidding me?
yeah,
My
Jamin
favorite player.
Graham with the touchdown. I was very
He's
confused for a second. I was like, Dolphins have chosen Anderson
oh
out
yeah,
there.
isn't
This
it Robbie chosen? I don't know
it
what it is.
was it was Robbie Anderson, then Robbie chosen. Now it's or
Chosen Anderson.
and it was chosen Anderson. I don't. Yeah,
Meta World Peace, right? Same
yeah.
shit. Like it's
So
now,
I
and
was
it
like,
was
oh, did
Ron.
Jimmy Graham change his name? And then I was like, no, it is
Like, oh
just
no,
Jimmy
he's
Graham.
still Jimmy Graham.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's just
Jamin
someone
Graham. I'm
Yeah, did
going
you
to click
see
on.
it too?
I am, and there's one search. The related search around him, by the way, is somebody actually named Jamin Graham, who is a
Mhm.
doctor. So that's pretty
Oh,
impressive.
all
Jimmy
right.
Graham, yeah, football tight end and
Mhm.
MD. So pretty impressive title.
Shout out. That's like that Chiefs lineman whose name I forget. But
Yeah, me too. But he does both. He's like a
yeah,
neurosurgeon, right? He
yeah,
retired.
yeah.
He
He like
retired around.
left.
Yeah,
I think he just retired, but he was like
sick.
pursuing a degree or like was already a doctor and playing and winning Super Bowls at the same time.
Yeah, which
Pretty
is like top.
insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like
Yeah,
good for
yeah.
him.
And then
But
like took a year off to help with the COVID crisis in Canada and like it's
yeah,
crazy.
like and then he just comes back and he's fine. I'm looking at the Saints page right now. There's New Orleans Saints, and it says like players, on the Google search, and it says Derek
Mhm.
Carr, quarterback, Michael Thomas, receiver, Taysom Hill, quarterback, Jamin Graham, tight end. So I'm going to do some digging on this. I don't know
Yeah,
where
what
Jamin
is
Graham is.
happening?
I don't know, man. What
Where's
is there a
Jimmy
name
Graham
change that we're
coming
not
from?
privy to? Yeah, what went on here? What went down? We'll report back next week I think, with
Yeah.
this information.
Oh man. Well, anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all. Looking forward to next week for sure. NFC South Showdown.
Yes, it should be fun. And where can they find you online?
Best place to find me is on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it these days, and that's at Jack_Tiernan. So follow me there for football takes now that football's back and basketball season kicking off real soon too. You can also follow me on my disc golf Instagram page, and that's at Jack Disc Golf. Follow me there. Tournament season winding down, but did just sign up for another one in Florida, so more to come.
Awesome. So go follow him there. Of course, I am on Twitter at the fake BMAR, BMARR. Channel is on Twitter at Wicked Sports for as long as the don't make us pay for Twitter,
True.
which I heard was something that they want to do, which is outrageous. Uh, other than that, Wicked
I don't
Sports
know,
and
yeah.
yeah, Wicked Sports on pretty much all social media. Jack, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
We'll see you all in the next one.